Hello, Bindu Chaudhary this side in your social science class, and today we are covering our unit 2nd, Parliament and the making of laws, and in this one chapter 3rd is running on why do we need a parliament, and today we are discussing about part 4th, question answer session. Yes, we had earlier read the chapter why do we need a parliament, and in this chapter we had studied about the free independence 1947 15th August, and before struggling peoples, our freedom fighters who fought for ourselves, and the main motto of this chapter is the important thing that we had discussed about in our part 1st, part 2nd. Yes, in chapter 1st and in chapter 2nd about the important themes of the constitution, how people realized that the British rulers had their own laws and they are not beneficial for the people of India, they were only beneficial for the British rulers, and that's why one by one they had a theme that this one is important. Right to equality is important, right to freedom is important, and they had many things they discussed, and the main thing constitution came into existence, and with this one parliament also came into existence. Why all these things needed? Because of the smooth regular conversation on the main question answers, main laws, making of laws, and why making of laws are important we will discuss in our next chapter. Hope we recall about the chapter reading session. So today we will start about question answer, and in this first question we will sum up about the important thing, which is the most important symbol of Indian democracy and a key feature of the constitution. We had the important symbol. See in answer, the parliament is an important symbol and key feature of Indian democracy. When we are discussing about Indian democracy, then the parliament is the important symbol and the key feature of this democracy. Next question comprises of what is universal adult franchise. Yes, we had discussed this one in our article 326 about universal adult franchise. It means that all adult citizens, it means 18 and 18 plus citizens of the country have the right to vote, to elect their own representatives in the legislative assemblies, in the parliaments, in the panchayats, etc. So this one is the important thing about the universal adult franchise. We had our next question, students. In how many years is the Lok Sabha elected? Rajya Sabha we are not mentioning here because on that time no elections are going on, but we are discussing about Lok Sabha, House of Commons. Yes, the answer is once in every 5 years. Once in every 5 years, the members of Lok Sabha elected. Our next question is here. How many elected members are there in Lok Sabha? It means how many members are there in Lok Sabha? Elected members. When we are considering about the elected members, then answer is 543 elected members are there, but 2 others Indo-Anglians are nominated. It means total 545 members are there, and among 545, 543 are the elected members and 2 members of Indo-Anglian community are nominated. Our next question is here. Who selects ministers to work with him or her to implement decisions? Yes, the main member, our answer is here. The Prime Minister selects minister, and the Prime Minister's work is for what? To select the members to implement different decisions in the Lok Sabha. Our next question is here. Yes, we are comprises of short questions as well as long questions in this question answer session. Our next question is here. which is the very important way through which the parliament controls the executive. Yes, in chapter reading session we had discussed about this one. So, one by one we will write in this answer session here. During question hour, MPs can elicit information about the working of the government, and in this way these elicit informations are important for all of us. Our next question is here. How are the marginalized given adequate representation? See, by reserving the seats in the parliament, the marginalized are given adequate representation. As we had discussed about the reserved seats for SC, reserved seats for ST, Dalits, tribal peoples, women. So, every marginalized had a proper adequate representation in the parliament. Next question is here. What does the term coalition means in general? Yes, we had discussed about the majority party as well as coalition parties. So, in this way we will discuss in our question answer session about the coalition. Coalition is a temporary alliance of groups of parties. जब हम देखते हैं कि एक जो पार्टी है उसको पूरी सत्ता नहीं मिल पाई है, पूर्ण बहुमत नहीं मिल पाया है, 272 वोट्स जो जरूरी होते हैं वह नहीं मिल पाए, ऑन दैट कंडीशन मिली जुली सरकार जो है वह बनती है और उसमें हम क्या देखते हैं, कोलिशन होता है. ओके, वी हैव आवर नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन हियर. How many elected and nominated members are there in Rajya Sabha? We had discussed about Lok Sabha. Then this one is important about the members of the Rajya Sabha. So we will consider it here. There are 233 elected and 12 nominated members in Rajya Sabha. It means how many total members are there in Rajya Sabha at present? When we are discussing about 233 and 12, then it becomes 245 members, and among them 233 elected members are there and 12 members are nominated. So, this one is the ratio of Rajya Sabha. We had our next question. What does the parliament enables the citizen of India to? About parliament, so our answer is here. Parliament enables citizen of India to participate in decision making and control the government with the help of the elected representatives of the parliament, MPs of the parliament. So people of India, citizens of India had to participate in decision making and controlling of the government by the opposition parties and by the members of the representatives of the parliament. Next question 11th is here, and this question comprises of why do you think our national movements supported the idea that all adults have a right to vote? What's the theme behind this one? How our national movement supported this way? Important question, because only and only India is the first who allowed all the adults to have a right to vote, whether of upper caste, whether of lower caste, whether of upper or lower, as well as what? As well as women, as well as of different religions. Everyone had a right to vote. The national movement supported the idea that all adults have a right to vote because of the many reasons. When we are considering reasons, then one by one we will take here. Every responsible citizen should participate in the government, because they had this motto. Law making and decision making should also be shared by the adults of the country. That's why they had equal right of voting. Our next question is here. Define the term approval in the context of this chapter and in general sense also. What is this approval term? First of all, we will discuss it here. Approval means to give one's consent to and be favorable to whom, students? Towards something. Something, it means in the context of this chapter, when we are discussing about this chapter, then it refers to the formal consent through elected representatives that parliament has, as well as the fact that it needs to continue to enjoy the people's trust. So approval by the people in decision making, in controlling the government, in making laws. So everything is there with the help of the elected representatives. Our next and last question is here. Which is one of the most important functions of the Lok Sabha, House of Commons? Who are the executives? We have two parts of this question. First of all, we will take our first part here. One of the most important functions of the Lok Sabha is to select the executives. And the executive is what? The executive is a group of persons who work together to implement the laws made by the parliament. So the role of the executive is also there. This executive is often what we have in mind when use the term government. So the concept is totally clear in your mind about the executives, about why we need parliament. Yes, this chapter is here with you. So your duty starts that you will write all these questions in your copies and learn one by one. We have our new chapter in our new session. So stay with us.